Yo, check it out. This is the crib I grew up in Puerto Rico.
That shit is fire. Y'all was living large out there.
My dad used to make all the capes for Walter Mercado.
That's a lot of capes.
Yeah. But they're thinking about selling it all because I never go back to visit.
What? My man, go back to your country. You should visit, man. I'll go with you. Y'all still got capes left? Because I need one.
Whack, canceled, faces, curve, D. D?
What?
D, did you tell Lee to go back to Puerto Rico?
Yeah.
What the, why?
Deke, we see you on set?
Yeah. Are you serious?
You wanna get some food after this?
Nah, I'm good.
Ew, eat too. What's your problem?
You're not who I thought you were.
What are you talking about?
I can't believe you told Lee to go back to his country.
I didn't tell him to go back to his country. I told him to visit his childhood home.
Oh, so what about that hold down?
Hold down. That wasn't a hold down dance. I was trying on some jeans. You know my ass got fatter.
What about the red hat?
I have a black one too.
What about your finger guns?
I was just killing my fit. I was looking good. What's the problem?
Oh my god, I feel so bad because I was about to join the canceled D club. You're trending right now.
I'm trending?
Yes, you're being canceled.
I'm being canceled.
Yes,
But how many retweets I got?
25,000. But you're being canceled.
I could apologize. I'm trending. I'm being canceled.
Yeah.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to Like, Share, Dímelo. We're your hosts. I'm Dee Nasty.
And I'm Sasha Merci, and on this show, we talk about the internet's most wildest topics, ask our guests their opinions, and then we break it down Dee in Sasha's style.
And today's topic, how has social media changed what it means to be famous? What you think?
The thing about social media is you were able to make a name for yourself without needing anyone. So
Facts.
before it was like, oh, I need to get signed by this agency. I need this person to see me and this, that. And now you're just like, yo, I have something to say and I'm gonna say it. And then people were able to relate to that. So it's all about relatability.
Yeah. And I think for a really long time, we would see like celebrities, they were kind of unattainable. They was out of reach, right? And I think now people was just like, I just want to see something that's real and authentic. So would you call like influencers now the new celebrities?
I mean, they are, right? For you to be a celebrity, it's not necessarily like you need to have a talent. Like, that's the only thing that I would say it's annoying as well because everybody wants to be an influencer. And not everybody needs to be an influencer. Like, we need doctors, we need nurses, we need teachers, we need scientists. Like, what the That gets me so mad.
I wanted to be one, right? I wouldn't be doing the that I was doing if I'm not gonna be a doctor because I can't. When we started doing Instagram, some of the very first videos that I did, I thought they were really corny, but they got such a big rush and so many people were perceptive to it and reactive to it because I think it was relatable. We were the only two Dominican chicks, other than Cardi, obviously, but Cardi was already famous when we was already doing what we was doing. But to see some type of Latina representation that wasn't what we always see on TV, it was just different. And I think that's why people were so receptive to the content that we was putting out there. There's always been celebrities, like I mentioned. There's always gonna be an artist who's a rapper, a singer, an actress, model, whatever. But the moment that they gave us the power to be on social media, celebrities did it too. Because for so long, they're just putting stuff out that other people are telling them to put out.
Right.
So now we get to peek behind that curtain and see what's really good with them. And a lot of the times, it's actually not as entertaining as you would think. Because sometimes celebrities be saying some dumb ass, but who doesn't, right?
That's why I don't want to say nothing, right? Because I'm not the most educated person in the room. Like, there's things that I don't know, and I might say something that people are gonna want to cancel me for.
We kind of put this pressure on people that have a platform to be super, super educated, be on top, and be across everything. Like, the moment that you're ready to cancel somebody just because you don't like what they said or you think that what they said was antiquated, that's when it becomes, it is elitist because you're now judging people who don't have that same education that you got. It's messed up. And it's not only gonna be attacking white people online, you're gonna start also attacking people that come from disenfranchised neighborhoods.
Like, I come from a disenfranchised community. I'm from the Bronx. I am a product of systemic racism. So I don't know about sometimes, and I don't want to be canceled for something that I'm saying as a joke or, you know, from my own personal experience, and people just want to put me in a box like, oh, she's just spreading hate. No.
Like, it's a changing time, and language is evolving, and they're happening really quickly right now. In I would say, like, in the past couple years, there's been this boom of information and a boom of social justice and change that I think is really positive. But I still think that there's a lot of people that haven't caught up yet. Like, I remember a couple years ago, this is when the conversation of like non-binary, gender fluid, pronouns, it started getting a lot more loud. I didn't know anything about that. And then I had the discussion. I was in Canada for like a project, and we were talking, and I used the term gender binary, and I thought I did a good job. I was like, yeah, like, you gender binary. He's like, no, not gender binary, it's non-binary. And then they went and like schooled me, and I was, okay, like, just teach me. Let me know if I said something wrong, and I'll be happy to fix it. But what we're not gonna do is you yelling at me, little Canada boy. Like, you know what I mean? Not boy. Sorry, person. Don't put that. We can't say nothing. Well, actually, no. It was actually I could call him a boy because he was a boy. We were talking about someone else. I am in no way, shape, or form a celebrity, but I do have a little bit of a following on Instagram. And you gonna have your phone?
I didn't even know that it was.
866 is spam.
When somebody makes a mistake and it's genuine, like a genuine mistake, and I'm learning from this, or I said some messed up things before, but that's not who I am today. Because 18-year-old Sasha is very different from this Sasha right now. From this Sasha right now. I was very toxic at 18. I did a lot of toxic.
Like what? Can you name some?
I'm very private. I'm very private about my toxicity.
Yes.
My toxicity. Listen, I wasn't raised right? That's one of the things, like, I really wasn't raised right.
You need therapy.
I do.
We both do.
At the end of the day, if you did something like sexual assault or a very heinous crime, am I saying heinous?
Heinous.
Heinous,
like a hairy heinous.
If you did a very heinous crime, you should get canceled.
Yeah.
Because that was malicious intent.
Mm-hmm. That's why, like, I have my take on cancel culture or outrage culture. Because, like, let me make it very perfectly clear. If somebody did something real messed up, that's blatantly illegal, blatantly racist, blatantly homophobic, transphobic, just against the law, messed up, and, like, stifling somebody else's growth, or, you know, I'm putting all the disclaimers out here. But, you know, like, I believe that if somebody does something wrong, they got to own up to this, and there should be repercussions. Yeah. However, so many times online, we're seeing people getting canceled for things that they said in their past when they were young, or things that were taken out of context. We'll read a headline, we'll see a small little clip of a video without seeing the rest of the video. And it's like, did we forget nuance? Did we forget what context is? Because last time I checked, none of us are perfect, right?
The problem that I do have with cancel culture is because they mix opinions and bias with a little bit of facts.
I feel like people read a caption, they'll read a headline, and they run with it. We, as millennials, Gen Z, whatever, we don't read full articles anymore. We read the headline, we read the second headline, and then the first couple of sentences, and then we'd be like, oh, I got all the information that I need. Yeah. Like, I always use this as an example, and this is like a controversial example because everybody hated it, but this is fact, right? It was like a March for Your Life protest, and there was this small video, and it was this Native American man and this like young kid, 16 years old, he had a MAGA hat on, and in the video, we see like a good 30 seconds of him just like smugly smiling at the Native American, and it just rubbed you the wrong way. The red hat is triggering, the kid's like whole demeanor is triggering, and I remember there was this whole smear campaign against him, like CNN, Wall Street Journal, all of these places, like, look at this disrespectful little shit. He's 16! Everyone called him like a disgusting little disrespectful shit. He didn't say one word. And then when you actually go to the video, you see that it's a much larger and longer video with a lot more other things that are happening. That kid didn't say anything. You might disagree with his political views, but he didn't do nothing wrong. And now there's this 16-year-old kid that people see his face and they want to spit on him or whatever, you know, like they want to disrespect him. That's not cool. So him and his family, they went to seek retribution. If I'm not mistaken, he allegedly got almost $500 million with settlements from CNN and Wall Street Journal. Have you heard about that? Nobody's talking about that. CNN had to apologize to this kid, but nobody's talking about that. That's why every time I'm talking to someone and I'm having a conversation with someone, as annoying as it may be, I do ask, what are your sources? Like, where'd you hear that from? Is it just somebody on Instagram? Was it just a screenshot? Or is there like a link and a reputable source that's giving this information?
Yeah, it's true. These always, every time I say something to D be like, and where'd you hear this from? Where'd you hear this from? Bro, and you know what's crazy? That you be knowing all the tea, and she be like, yo, do you know this, that, and the third? I was like, nah, son, I was just watching soap being cut up for like an hour. Like, I watch
your Instagram
my
is
whole
so
is about like soaps, is about like DIYs, like how to make your own, how to do your own nails. Like, that's all I be watching because I can't deal with it.
I'm very caught up on all the tea.
I am not.
So today we have a very special guest joining us, Puerto Rican legend from the Bronx, Joey Crack the Don himself. Welcome, Fat Joe. What's going on?
What's up, guys? How y'all doing? I'm Puerto Rican and Cuban.
Puerto Rican and Cuban, my bad.
And my wife is Colombian, so I'm the trifecta.
You the right there.
I'm the tripleta right there, you know?
Yeah.
Where are we talking to you from? You in New York right now?
Yeah, I'm in New York right now.
All right, dope. So the topic of the show today, we've been talking about like what makes a celebrity today. We feel like a lot of changes have happened in the past couple years. Fame has changed, and we think social media has a big part in that as well. So we wanted to ask you, you've been in the game for a minute now. What is the biggest difference that you see in artists today versus back then?
Everything social media and everything that's given us access to be one-on-one with our fans has also taken away from the privacy and the mystique to being an artist.
That's true. I feel like right now, people feel like they have to share so much of their life online to remain relevant. Have you ever felt restricted in the things that you want to say because you're afraid of being canceled, quote unquote?
Everybody's walking around in eggshells, thinking like, can I say this? Can I not say this? You know, I find myself explaining stuff to my daughter who's a millennial, very cancer culture-ish. So for real. So she's telling me, Dad, why are you allowed to say this? Dad, why you talk like that? Yo, Dad, and I try to tell her, yo, when I grew up, there wasn't a cancel culture. Exactly. This is how people greeted me. This is how people talked to me since I was 2 years old. Right. Like, so now it's like you got to adjust who you've been your whole life just to make the cancel culture happy, I guess.
Yeah. I feel like you called it out in one of your tweets in 2015 when you was like, social media is a gift and a curse at the same time. And I do feel like we're living that right now.
People nowadays are becoming a lot more educated. We're learning a whole bunch of new information that we weren't privy to before this time. And there's still people though, like people in my family, people in my surrounding, in my immediate circles, that they don't really know anything about this yet. They haven't been put on like that. And sometimes it feels like it's a little bit elitist when you're telling people what they're saying is wrong.
If you're trying to get my mother and my father to give a F about the cancel culture, you're crazy.
Right.
They're going to say what they say whenever they say. They're going to eat what they... I go to their house, they still cooking with lard, bro. I try to tell them what carbs is. Like, they not trying to hear nothing. Yeah. Nothing I got to say.
Back in May, you had a conversation with Lil Wayne on your live, and he made some statements about George Floyd's death that rubbed people the wrong way. They were calling for his cancellation. Do you think that his words were taken out of context?
Yeah, but also he didn't have enough time to elaborate.
Got you.
So then I seen him like the next week on his show, and he started breaking down what he was breaking down. I'm from New Orleans. You know, he's from New Orleans, the hood. He's been through so much police harassment you could think of. So in my show, he just had one little time, and he said it, but he didn't really get to explain it. So everybody was upset with him. But I don't think we're going to cancel Lil Wayne.
Never. You're right. Come on.
That's Tunchi.
So you did an Instagram video with T.I. recently, and it got removed from Instagram. Mysteriously. Do you think that platforms should have the right to do that, to remove content that belongs to you?
This is social media. This is freedom of speech. This is I don't know why they do that. And it says block from this country, block from that country, block. And it seems like whenever we talk something too real, they block it.
Yeah.
And it's a weird thing because it's like, ain't we supposed to be talking? Ain't this dialogue? Ain't this, you know, as long as you ain't threatening nobody or doing nothing like that, it happened to me a couple of times.
What's your take on cancel culture?
Unfortunately, the culture, if we want to call it the culture is based on bringing people down anyway. There's a lot of angry people out there who are angry at success.
What does success mean to you?
I don't want to answer that with a cliche, but the truth is, success is different to everybody. Success is tailor-made.
That's it. Oh,
I think we got it.
Yes.
Yes, it is tailor-made.
All right.
I really appreciate that so much.
Bueno, Fat Joe, thank you for being on the show. You're like, this is amazing.
Thank you for having me on your show.
Absolutely.
Much success. God bless. And I can't wait till this comes out.
Awesome. Thank you so much. All right. Bye.
It's hard, right? To separate the art from the artist, right?
Agreed.
Especially with R. Kelly, right? And I'm gonna say this, like
He got them
everything
hits. He got them hits.
He did have them hits, and it's like everything that he did not everything, but okay. He did some real foul shit, man.
Nasty.
And nasty is disgusting, and he deserves to be canceled, but it's so crazy how we grew up listening to his music, and it was some form of empowerment for us.
I thought I was a bird.
Yeah, I believe I could fly. Like that was the song that they had us singing in elementary school. There's videos of me. Am I gonna get canceled? And I was like, what? 8 years old singing that song?
You know that right after everything, that whole documentary came out, his streams on like YouTube and Spotify were skyrocketing up.
Yeah. I think that for people, it's like, when you say you're about to go on a diet on like a Monday, but Saturday and Sunday you eating mad before you like completely stop eating.
I think in the class,
people were like, let me just listen to this one more time before I never listen to this again.
In the closet.
Oh, we on it.
Welcome back, guys. Welcome back to
And we're back. Every mother back. Yeah.
Demon.
Well, yeah, I learned so much today. You know what? I'm glad that we're having this conversation because it's a conversation that needs to be had, and I do understand that cancel culture came from a very positive place.
Definitely.
Where people were taking advantage of their power and abusing it.
Yeah.
Because be malicious sometimes,
and
right?
they needed to be called out.
I really appreciate my followers because we wouldn't be here if it wasn't for them.
You're right. If it wasn't for some of the constructive criticism that they do put out there, then how the hell are people gonna learn?
That's true. There is constructive criticism.
Yeah.
There is constructive criticism, but there's also hate.
Come from a place of information and research and stats. If what you're saying about this specific person is true, then it's everyone's right to know what's going on and to get that person, especially if it's a person that has power in whatever business they're in, get that person out of here. Get them out of here. We don't need no freaks. We don't need no creeps. You know what I mean?
Stop it. Stop it.
Michelle Obama said it, right? Words have power.
They're trying to cancel people for toxic behaviors when canceling itself is toxic. And another thing is that sometimes, Dee's on the phone when I'm talking, and that's normal.
But you gotta blame it on the algorithms. I think that when something starts getting spoken on in the internet so much and it becomes a hashtag and it becomes a conversation, then the algorithm picks it up. People like shock factor. Maybe that's being a little too broad in it, because I'll still click on something like, oh, she got canceled, let me see what happened. So I'm also contributing to that algorithm of clicks. So we talk, but who we really talking about? Who's really canceling who, if not us?
It's very counterproductive. Like, we need to be sticking together. We need to help celebrate each other's, like what Fat Joe says. People have a harder time celebrating one another. And I think that people are hiding behind cancel culture and just trying to be like, oh, I don't really like this person, so let me help them sink the tank. No.
Yeah.
Don't do it, baby. Don't do it. Guys, It's a wrap. Guys, it's a wrap. Thank you for joining us. It was a good conversation. I'm glad we had Fat Joe in the building. Woo! So join us next time at Like, Share, Dímelo!
People of the interwebs, I'm sorry. Puerto Ricans, my bad. You know I love you. I'm sorry. Blondes, I'm sorry. Hillary Clinton, I'm sorry. People that live in Antarctica, I'm sorry. Everyone in the whole wide world, I'm sorry.
People that like licorice, I am sorry. People that like to eat cereal with no milk, I'm sorry.